All right. Well, welcome to this week's episode of the old TwisterCast with me, Pudge. I don't know how to explain me. One of you guys explain me better.
He is the head lead of our TwisterCast podcast
Yeah.
we got going on here. Emerald
Special Agent
GG's
Pudge.
and
Master
and
Chad.
Vic Twister's walking calculator when it comes to Tarkov. Is how I would
This is
explain it.
true.
Well, and then we got Bio over there to my left. The M80 Master 76251. He likes popping people in ears at over 100 meters every day. And over
I
there,
enjoy it.
over in the orange, there's country. The wild man. He's a wild card every time. You don't know who he's gonna shoot, but he's gonna shoot somebody.
Might be bio, might be a scab.
It's a 50-50. You
and,
never know.
and then you have Mr. Metal down below, who's also on Mixer. Go follow him on Mixer. You better follow him on Mixer. Shameless plug for Metal. He is absolutely amazing at everything interchange. I swear that man has a map like melted into his brain of that.
I've run that map way too much to count.
And then down there, the Canuckian, the one with the beard. Okay, we all got beards. So that doesn't really work. The one stroking his beard. The man of chadliness, Jack Daniels, and great jokes. He shoots a lot of stuff. He doesn't die that much. And he does things with his tongue. Ladies.
Very
How you
nice.
doing? Appreciate you guys having me here.
All right. So, how was everybody's raids of the last week? We'll start with you, Country, because I think you had the shortest week of raids.
My week has been the last 4 hours of Tarkov. Overall, good. We had 2 pretty rough matches. Bio and I loaded in, waiting on Crunch to load in, and some butthead with thermals just started blasting us like 10 seconds of spawning in. So other than that, that's pretty good though. We got out of 2 or 3, I believe.
Uh,
I killed
You
him,
say,
man.
you say you've only been playing today since the last cast?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've been on a huge MOBA kick.
boring.
what about you, Metal? What about you?
I ain't got much more than country does at this point. I think Sunday night and last night was about all I've gotten to play. With the launch of the Minecraft server last week for the Discord, I kind of got wrapped up in that.
Oh yeah, you were kind of tied up in that. So let's go on to Bio, somebody who's Tarkoved this week.
I mean, my raids have been okay. The PMCs could have been better, but I've been making my money and getting out of some of the scav raids. Had some really nice scav ones. And had some good PMC ones today with country. And got out of a couple, had like 5-6 kills each one. It was good.
And what about you there, Crunch?
Um, well, I'm sure a few of you know, and I have just been like itching to get at this. Um, are we talking about best or worst,
We're just
or just
talking about
raids
the
overall?
raids overall, the whole week in general.
Raids overall, I think for me has been a very Tarkov experience. It's been very weird too. Like I'm before we started here, I kind of touched on earlier. With it being so late and white, there's a lot of things coming back. Like the guns are coming back, my platforms are coming back, but they're coming back stripped, which is fine. And it's really funny to see that I'm getting a lot of stuff back, but I'm also getting dumped. I'm doing a lot of dumping, but it's been a very Tarkov experience this past week, I would say for sure.
Yeah, that's fair. I'd say week's been it's been strange. There's been raids that have been absolutely just nuts where like, okay, yeah, that felt really good. That was an awesome raid. Let's go again. And then there's been raids where Tarkov says, "Oh, you're going to server disconnect 3 times and then it's going to just automatically boot you because if you disconnect more than 3 times, you don't get to come back."
Yep.
Learn that. All right, does everybody have a like a most memorable raid? We'll start the cycle again with Mr. Country.
So mine are all pretty memorable this week. I feel like I was just in all of them. Um, I'd say probably the most memorable out of all those. Bio and I think it was our second match, was one of our better ones. We got a PMC. He got a player scav. I don't know, it was
Yeah, that was
fairly
good.
quiet, fairly quiet raid, but still got pretty decent kills. It was pretty relaxed as far for the amount of kills we got, I guess. Pretty relaxed. And I got like 4 guns on that one. That was nice. That was a good loot run.
You metal, most memorable.
At this week there was pretty much nothing. Everything was. I honestly think the most memorable was spawning in as a scav and getting dumped before I even got to get any input to the character.
Oh,
Which,
Tarkov.
reserve?
That's it. Oh yeah, reserve.
Yeah.
Reserve.
Well,
Before
we
I
just know.
spawned in, I just heard gunfire and screen flashes up, black. Dead.
Oh, bio. Any super memorable ones?
Ooh. I'm trying to decide. I got a couple. So one was a scav run I did on interchange. Had a good like 20 odd minutes left. So I ran upstairs and it was quiet for a couple minutes, and all of a sudden 2 groups of player scavs and PMCs are just like going off at each other downstairs. So I decided to take some shots of opportunity essentially. And now mind you, I'm running the Vepr 366 ammo. So I wasn't expecting much, but I had a decent scope, had some headshots, and I sowed some chaos, which is really kind of what I was trying to do. I wasn't really trying to loot or win. I was just trying to be like, "Oh my god, where's the shot come from?" and make them run around, which I accomplished. That was good.
Crunch. It's your time for your favorite raid. Yeah, go ahead.
This was the one I
Yeah.
was kind of itching for. I foresighted that a little bit, foreshadowed that a little bit. So there's a task that I had. Let's see, what is it called? Just for tickles. Let's be like this. Silent Caliber, given to me by the one and only Skier. Killed 20 scavs with a suppressed 12 shotgun. So I built a pole vaulter of a 12 gauge. And oh my god. So we loaded into factory with the 5 of us. Take up to office. These guys get planted down behind. I'm hearing scavs out hole in wall. I'm like, okay. I have a peek. I see him. He tucks in on ground floor. So I'm like, all right, we 5-head in this mother. So I jump down, drop down. I get out on the ground floor. Bio asks, hey man, what are you up to? I said, I'm out here cruising. And cruising I was.
Yeah, you were.
And dumped him. And then these guys just kind of held up in the office for a little while and did their thing. And I was like, oh, wait, I need to take an exploration experience up top. So I went up top into the metal rafters and hung up there the whole time. Oh baby, nothing feels better than when you know where every scav is gonna come from, where every shot is coming at you from. Playing so much offline, I came out of there with 16 kills with AP 20 slugs. I'm pretty sure I went in with 140 rounds. I came out with 32 shells left, but 16 kills, lots of fun. Got my quest done. Would highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun.
10 of 10 would recommend again.
Yeah,
I
I remember
guess.
hopping
Assuming
into.
that you've got a 5-man with you.
Pretty sure
Trying
I
to do it
hopped into
solo,
stream
it
for that one,
sucks.
Crunch.
I'm trying to go back on my most memorable. I had the scav run where I murked a PMC with
Ooh.
green tracer round to the face.
Wait, was that the one last night?
Yep, that was last
When
night's,
you were
which felt.
powering in garages in reserve?
Yeah, and 8 absolutely destroyed that player scav with one shotgun blast to the face. It was just so
Nice.
satisfying. That raid was beautiful because I got in a little bit of a scuffle and I kind of backed into a corner and he comes running in and 8 peeks around and shoots him and he never saw 8 the entire time.
Oh, that's great.
And then right after that, I heard running go by. So I'm like, well, I'm going to peek out because I don't got anything good. I don't even have a pack. and I shot a kitted player with an M4, an AK-74, an A18, and an AACP helmet with one lonely green tracer bullet. Don't doubt the green tracer. And then we have one very, very important one that was the most memorable of the week. Anybody included that nobody remembered, and that was the labs run.
I was waiting for somebody to say that.
Oh,
I
the
wasn't
labs
prepared
run.
for that.
Oh
I was
my.
waiting for the segue into that because that's a whole topic on its own. Like, on it,
Yep,
has to be.
Did I hear
we're just
labs come up?
yeah, the labs
Yeah.
run. So,
Oh,
thanks to the wonderful Tricks for stopping by chat in voice chat, and we asked
the one
what.
and only Tricks entity. Give her
Correct.
the full name, please.
Yeah,
She deserves it.
she absolutely does. Other than Al, that was a rough raid. We go in as a
hey, we were all
5.
ready for it.
We were.
We gave her the option. We showed her the map. We said, "Hey, here's your option. Pick."
And she
Carry on.
and she picked Living Hell.
Yeah.
So
That wasn't
we
that
we
bad.
hopped in as a crew of kitted, unkitted, half kitted, and Crunch
Honey
without
badgers.
armor.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah. What
Thank
attack?
you, Tarkov, for a real experience for that. Thank
Attack
you. That was
2.
fantastic.
What, an MK3 rig, tier 4 helmet, and no
yeah,
armor.
something like that.
And we make our way through the basement floor on up, go up towards red keycard spawn, hop down to go in the hallway by the garage, run into a player. Poor Fretzy. Rest in peace, Fretzy, for not being here for one.
2 players. 2 of
Yeah.
them.
Oh, yeah, it was 2. We get in this little hallway action of peeking out, shoot a suppressed shot at one, we shoot a shot back, they'll throw a grenade, we run away, we throw a grenade, they run away. And it was this back and forth stalemate of nothing for about 3 minutes. And Fretzy got a little bit aggressive. So he sprints around the corner, and I've never seen such sad thing through a fast MT. 2 bullets right through his face immediately. And so we go, nope, we're not in this anymore. So me and 8 got the grand idea. We'll go upstairs where the button is to open the garage and release the raiders. Then we'll have cover.
We ran through that as well, so we knew now where the button was to spawn the raiders.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
everybody just had to remember the route to get back to the button.
one of us did not. Rest in peace, Mr. Crunch.
Also, I was dead long before all this.
Yeah, I don't remember how.
Mosin man.
I heard a grenade go off, so I peeked down the hallway, and one of them was already peeking the hallway. I got face shot.
And we continued on with me and 8 in the room as the scabs are funneling on downstairs and fighting. One of them unfortunately pokes its head in, and we mow it down. And then another. And another.
Two goons peel off like puppies with tails tucked between your legs.
That's the way you.
Trying to be the labs, I'm like, all right, I'm clicking this into full auto. I'm ready to kneecap some fellers. I hold thinking these guys are going to push towards the button because they kind of know what's going on, and I might be able to catch them on a push.
Hint, hint, we were
Bad
already
idea.
at the button.
Yeah, these guys are already like 30 feet beyond me, around the corner, up another, blah, 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 blah. And I'm holding the corner where we ran into these tan mans who know what they're doing in labs. These guys hit the button. Carry on.
Crunch immediately dies. So we're up there and go, this is not good. We were at 5, now we're at 2. None of us have that much stuff. We're going to hold out here and wait for it to die down. And then the raiders came, and one of them came into the room, and they kept coming. 7 raider kills later, one came in through the pile of bodies and destroyed both me and 8 in very quick fashion with M80. And that was the end of that. But Labs Run Part 2 is near.
So on my side of things, though, I was stuck. I stuck myself in that corner. I mean, bad play. I asked you guys, I said, where are you guys? And they said, well, we're up at the button. I said, what the hell is the button? I need to get out of here. And, I try and leave. Before I even put my fucking big toe over the threshold of the door, Condor is already lasered in on me, and I'm just like, fuck it, I gotta run. I'm already mid motion. Let's go. And I just boot it. I take all of like 2.5 more steps and dropped by a raider. So that was fun. And that would be my worst raid of the week.
Yep,
Good old labs runs.
but best raid at the same time because it was hilarious the whole time.
Yeah, that's
Wh-
probably my second.
I mean, looking back on it, it was hilarious because the one and only Sage and Pudge here, co-host and head lead, is shitting his pants the whole goddamn time. I am back here just giggling like a kid on Christmas because of it.
And Mosin Man is leading the way. Where all I had was just a Mosin. I'm just like, hey, we're going this way, we're going that way, and they're just following me. It was great. It was great.
Future YouTube video. Shameless plug, by the way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so let's hop on to the next part. Our little snippet towards like the newer Tarkov players, because holy crap, there's a whole lot of new Tarkov players that have showed up.
Ooh yeah.
Holy crap, we are expanding quick.
The Twisters are taking very very quick applications and turning down none.
Yeah.
We're like a 7-Eleven gas station. If you're willing to work the overnight, yep, you're in. But I think we should go over like the basics of like basic map movement. Like, don't run out in the open for one, or don't walk out in the open. If you gotta go in the open, run it. Please, dear God, don't walk it. You will be shot in the face.
I mean, even if
Oh,
you
you mean
run
like
it,
that
there's you still
pistol
run
wing?
that risk.
But
some people are really good at leading their shots,
yeah,
and it feels bad. Feels good if you're the one doing it. Feels bad if
You mean like that pistoling that I dumped in the jaw? That
Oh,
was
yeah.
or
left on
the
shoreline? Getting
or the
Sherpa'd.
shoreline run where I beamed a guy from like 200 meters away. That was good too.
but
Full
like
sprint headshot.
making sure you have like a plan of the map. Big thing. Get a map, study it, learn it, love it, live it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Like,
know
I
what
know.
I do? I actually printed out all the maps on an 11 by 17 paper. I have them. I stick them to the wall right behind my monitor when I am running the specific map. So all I have to do is look up, look back down. I'm not turning my head to another screen. I'm not doing anything else. It's literally just move my eyes and there's my map.
Yeah.
That
If
is a really good idea.
having a map, learning just like the basic directions of the map, build your northeast, southwest on it. Build it how you want it in your head, so you at least have a sense of direction the whole time, so you're never lost. Like Shoreline is a very easy map to get lost in if you don't know it.
I find
Yeah.
shoreline and woods were incredibly disorienting for me.
I can't
Woods took a little bit.
do either.
I think that it was just because Pudge and I ran nothing but Shoreline for 2 weeks, but I find it very easy to just spawn in and be like, this is where I'm at. I don't know the stashes like Pudge does, but I can usually place myself really easy.
That's exactly what Pudge is saying, though, right? It's
As
you
soon
get
as
the map and you learn it for like 2 weeks, right?
Nothing will ever beat real experience with anything, and Tarkov really rings true of that. The nice thing about Tarkov is they do give you the option to run that shit offline.
Yeah, definitely worth doing.
Which is really, really, really cool. Whether you have AI and NPC PVE in there or not, you can at least start to learn the layouts of your map
without
and how
losing.
to move through it, right? Where your open spots are, where your trees are, where your shitty ferns are that you should not be hiding in because they don't render in at a distance.
Right.
Things like that, right? And how to move through the map, and then you can start adding in PVE offline and start amping up the amount of it just to kind of challenge yourself and, like I say, learn the map. It's a really, really great tool for any map, I think, and something I think everybody should use.
Not just run it 1-2 times and say, "Oh, I think I'm good." Memorize.
Exactly. Yes.
Yep.
Learn it. Spend hours and hours and hours in that map.
Yeah. And one thing I actually suggested, and I thought it was pretty advice, I do say so myself. I was telling Toxic Gigglebox because she joined us for a raid, or she was going to. Oh yeah, the scav run in reserve. run a map offline if you're looking to learn it, and then scav on it. Right, that way you're not risking much, but you're using that knowledge of, okay, I've spawned here, here we go, but you're getting that PvP practice and the PvE practice and all that stuff kind of intertwined.
Hmm.
Um,
Right.
with a
No
preset
gain, no
loadout.
loss. Yeah.
And that way, like, if you lose, well, you didn't lose anything. It's just a
You
scav.
lost a 20-minute cooldown.
Right, you
Big
lost 20
deal.
minutes of
Yeah.
your time, which, I mean,
Back to an offline raid.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And spend that time
Offline for
running
another 20
offline when
minutes.
That is
yeah,
what I did
exactly.
for the first week of Tarkov before I played with
Oh,
anybody.
perfect.
Was scav,
Yeah.
offline run, scav, offline run. I wasn't level 2 until like my 20th hour played.
Yeah. Perfect.
See,
And
I didn't do that. 5 minutes after I bought the game, I ran one woods offline, and then it's right into woods of bio.
oh,
Full blown DMC.
you jumped right in.
Oh,
I
Lord.
did too. I hit Pudge up like the day I got it downloaded, and I was like, "Hey, Pudge, you play Tarkov?" I said, "I don't, but I'm trying to." He's like, "Cool, let's go to Shoreline."
Another part to like that map movement, pick a route through the map. Pick your planned route. You have
Yep.
options if things go awry, but you at least know where you're going and you don't go, okay, I got to this point, now where do I want to go? And you take 30 seconds to a minute to decide, because that time is when players come and sneak up on you and just destroy you.
Right.
Right.
Especially if you've been popping rounds off and dumping scavs that are in your way or on your way or any of that, right?
Yep.
Just kind of like you said before, have a plan when you go into a raid. Okay, here, if we spawn here, I want to move here, 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 and this is how I want to do it. You know, but don't be afraid to deviate from that a little bit, depending how the raid is going,
Yep.
either, right? But have one,
Mhm.
at least one basic plan. I think is a very good
Right.
idea for sure,
And
so that you
and
can
and
give yourself a
always
little bit
remember
of a
that
BJ.
other players may be following a similar path, which is where the diversions come in. Like, okay, if there's going to be players here, we don't think we can take the fight. All right, we're going to get like gas station instead of power or whatever. Something like that.
Part of your map knowledge, know your lanes and your exactly. It's all
Yeah.
very big ball of shit. It's all the same. I think.
Um,
Say it is.
Yeah.
I think a big part of it too is knowing the difference between cover and concealment. Because cover will
Yes.
stop a bullet, concealment will not. The
Right.
bushes are
Right.
really useful for recon when you haven't run into a player and you're crept into one and you're waiting. But when you're at the point where you're shooting at somebody and they start shooting back, don't hide in the bush. Run.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Movement is life. And if you can
Yeah.
find something to hide behind, even if it is the tiny tree, your head is
Tree.
covered and your thorax is covered, you can survive a lot of bullets to the arms. And it
Back to
doesn't
that.
matter what round it is. You're getting 7 or
Back.
8.
Right. Back to that shoreline pistoling. Like I said last night, I PUBG'd him. Like I just grabbed myself a tree real quick, backed up a little bit so that I could ADS, and then just leaned them, popped a couple shots, and ended up dumping them both. So, like I say, cover versus concealment, right? It's very important to know what is hard cover versus soft concealment.
Hmm.
Um, anyone have anything else they want to add to the little new player snippet that we've got going here?
That's a Bio and I were just talking about it earlier. I think a big thing, at least for me personally, starting new, was I was nervous on pulling the trigger. I'd rather make sure the people around me knew where an enemy was before I shot, and a lot of times it just missed. It led to a non-shot person, right? Either they saw us or they just got away. So if you see someone, like it's okay to call it out, but also don't be scared to take that shot if you got something lined up.
I think that
100%.
also comes with the map knowledge, because there's always
Yeah.
that, as a new player, there's always that fear of shooting somebody. So taking that second to like, no, all right, I know my team has been behind me because I've heard them. I can go ahead and take
Right.
this shot
And
because
I
I
feel
know
like
no,
that's why
And
I like to take point a lot of times, because
yeah.
like if anything is in front of me, I know it's free game,
like
Right.
you were last night, Crunch, when I accidentally shot you in the leg 4 times.
Yeah, when we
Right.
don't when we dip
Well,
behind, yeah, yeah.
and I think another part of that is people are afraid to shoot their teammates, but like, and we kind of give each other a little bit of grief for, oh, country shoots me in the head or whatever. But
Multiple times.
I would rather he take that shot and kill an enemy on the off chance that it is an enemy. Like I would still rather he be going, oh, enemy shoot, rather than oh, enemy or friend, wait, and then we all die.
Right.
Right.
It's kind of the better safe than sorry. You know,
Exactly. And
take one life for the greater good, almost.
right. And all my stuff's if your stuff's insured, your teammates can just dump it somewhere and you get it back eventually. It's all good. It's all fine.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. Still 0 team kills to this date.
True.
Right.
I think part
It
of
is possible.
one other like quick tip at the very end of this whole like map, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. You'll see it over everything. If you start slow so you know something, you can do it really quickly. I can do a shoreline loot run so quick that no one else can keep up. These guys are way better at Tarkov than me. I just know exactly where the loot is and where to look. And
Oh,
there's
yeah,
no
there's
question.
times
I can go.
there's times where Pudge is like, yeah, I'm over here. I'm like, wait a minute, why are you all the way up there? We're still back here. What? Okay. I'm starting to get used to it a little bit. I'm getting used to his loot times. He's very quick at it.
Yeah.
And he just goes through, vacuums the place, and moves on. And I'm just like, but I want to sit here and watch for people and shoot them. And he's like, no. Let's next loot spot. Let's go.
Yeah.
Next spot
We'll
to
hang
catch
on the
people
next loot
traveling.
spot for the next 5 minutes if we're being generous, and if we don't see nothing, loot spot.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's no dig against you. That's just
Yeah.
How
say
it's
your map
one way of
knowledge,
playing.
and again, yeah, exactly. The beauty of Tarkov is you can play it however you want. You can sit here and play it for 8 hours and play the flea market when you get to there.
Yeah, true. A lot of
You
people
could
do that.
you could play offline for 12 hours a day. You could online for 2 hours and say, fuck it, this isn't for me today. You know,
Mhm.
it's the beauty of Tarkov. And I think that's what, another guy was asking me, what do you think of the community of Tarkov? And maybe we should save that for another topic for another podcast.
I mean, I'll go into a very quick snippet about it. The Tarkov community is amazing. So you're gonna have rage because this game is enraging. I've been angry at it, but I've never been angry at a player. I've been angry at the situation I've been placed in by a player, but I've never went, I hate that person. I never went like, no. It's everyone knows that they're like at this point where, all right, something happened. What do I need to do to fix it? Because I got caught out and made my own mistake.
Right.
There is one. I don't know how often you guys are on the Tarkov Reddit, but there was a bounty on a certain player.
Oh, I
Because
saw
he was
that.
that much of an asshole.
Oh my.
I saw that. Someone was offering like 10 bitcoins and some other stuff for him. It's impressive.
Oh.
And people started hunting him down.
Good.
I know that's not me.
It's not.
So it's none of us.
Yay. We're
I
safe.
don't remember the name, but I do remember seeing it. I think I was just looking at it before starting raids today.
I have been killed by said player. So,
Oh.
Oh, have you?
yes, I have.
Really?
Hmm. So shall we hop on to like the next topic? Like, what are these scavs nowadays? They've got such
What
good
are they
movement.
really,
Terminators.
though?
They
They are
And they're
tanky
pitted.
too.
they've gotten tankier. They've gotten way better movement that looks more player realistic because they can do
Especially
quick peeks.
yeah, especially when they get shot at. When they're just tooling around, it's not. It's
You
kind of
know it's a
easy to tell.
scav.
But once they get shot at and they're aggroed, they could either stop and crouch and look around, or they could start peeking and being all Terminator-y. Scary, man.
Where
Yeah,
is my BlackRock? That's my question.
It's coming.
Where if they're as tanky and as kitted as we say they are, where's my last BlackRock rig?
Reserve.
Yep.
Or did I finish that?
I still need to Shaka's.
Country, have you noticed that
Oh no!
You need to run more reserve. That shit's everywhere.
I got
also
a key for one of the cages down there. Let's do it tonight, boys.
I got all the
ooh
keys for the cages and both mark
All the keys.
Ooh.
Oh baby!
ooh
all 2 of them.
All right. So what were you gonna ask?
like Has anyone like had the point where they just couldn't fight one of the scavs because they were going so crazy and so Terminator-like, so they just bailed on a fight against a scav?
If I get a chance to
Negative. I
bail,
always get dumped.
Yeah, right.
Because I always like all I gotta do is just like put one right between his eyes and I'll be fine. And then I catch that pellet in between my eyes, and then I'm
the
pissed off at
motherfucker's got
myself.
laser vision.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I
he's too
started
fucking
getting
No,
shot
skilled.
at
I very
through.
rarely run from a scav. If anything, I will reposition, but I rarely run away from a scav.
I mean, scabs have shot me through concealment. Like, there's no way they should have been able to see me, and they're just like, "Bonanosuka!" I'm like, "What the hell?
Well,
Don't
there's a
do
big
that."
complaint on Interchange right now how they can see through the banners that overhang through the middle hall.
Uh,
So
Yeah,
that's
there's
kind of scary.
definitely a handful of bugs on interchange right now.
I mean, they're not bugs, they're features. They're
true.
always features.
It's a feature.
Laser vision
Yeah,
scavs is one of them.
Switching into the top of the med storage
Feature.
That's a feature.
closet was a feature.
Feature.
Absolutely.
100%.
It made that key plummet in price.
That
Good.
it did.
Because when they fix it, you'll already have one.
By the time they fix it, wipe will be here.
Yeah, true.
I will lose it.
So I'm gonna go to the.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Massive expensive.
I'm gonna move this to our next topic about how the flea market prices are up and down like a bipolar child on a teeter totter.
What is up with that?
Wow.
Some things make no sense that are so expensive that aren't even useful, but they're expensive.
Why? Like, are people just
Because-
playing the market just to play the market, or like, what is happening to it?
Like, why are you buying
Is it-
bolts and nuts for 30,000 a pop?
Could this just be our greenhorn first wipe in experience showing, or like what is like? Are we? I feel like we're the only people talking about this. I
I
haven't heard like Sharp or anybody like that talk about it. What's going on here?
yeah,
Is
like
it Sharp even use the flea market?
Maybe that's how it always is at the end of a wipe, and people are
Right.
the more
Right. That's
experienced
kind of what I was
players
thinking.
are just used to it. They're like, whatever. We talked about this 3 years ago when it happened. Who cares? This is a
Right,
trend
and
now.
that's what I was thinking.
I think
But
that's
why is it a trend?
part of
Why does this keep happening?
well, part of it is so you've got people that are going out to blow their gear. So you're getting an influx of slicks. If you haven't seen, there's an influx of slicks all over the market. I think slicks are down like 30K,
Okay.
which is tier 6. Like, holy crap, that's amazing.
Yep.
Because everyone's walking out with one. If you kill the player, you walk out with it because, all right, I don't have to buy another kit. But what's happening there is people are stripping guns, and they're stripping guns very, very
Yes.
well, and
Yeah.
hamming
So
the attachment market.
then explain to me, how does that correlate to things like nuts and bolts and fucking T-plugs and shit? Like, what?
Um,
All those
Why
things
are
make
gun attachments that have absolutely nothing to do with other like tradable, like they're not even tradables, they're just things. Like, why are those things inflating? I know, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I
unless
think
I'm just not the, I don't know. I don't do a whole lot of bartering and trading. I just sell it and then use the money to buy. So,
The only time I
like,
sell anything on the market is if I know it's a high value item.
right. Well, don't
Uh,
forget your nuts and your bolts help make bag boxes, which are 318K.
right, which is what I do. So that kind of makes sense. But like, why now? Why now? Why?
Because maybe that's how. Maybe people finally hit that point. I don't know.
that's just their moneymaker.
Okay,
That might
so
be part of it.
things like that kind of make sense to me, right? Just kind of like, I think we were talking about this last night, how your nuts and bolts will make mag boxes, and if you're already burning fuel anyway, then you turn that into things. Metal scissors have exploded,
Yeah,
and I mean, whether it's selling that much on the flea market or not, you can always make a quick 318K to therapist right now, right? So if
true.
you're really blowing through and practicing for wipe events, and you need a quick 318K to build you a quick little like half budget build, then that, I guess, could potentially drive up the demand and price.
Well,
I don't know, but then Why are
might
you
also be,
building shit if you're buying shit that big? I don't
I-
know.
it
I've
I-
could
got
be
no
people
clue
weren't
anymore.
considering it worth it until now because they're like, oh, I can just make 500K off a reserve run. Who cares if I make mag boxes? But now if they're blowing through a bunch of stuff, not getting their 500K, maybe that's a thing.
So, I mean, there is the supply and demand to
I don't know.
this. Like, you got to
Right.
think how many people have probably quit playing until new wipe. So you've dropped the amount of hands grabbing bolts and nuts and stuff. Then you've got players like you, Bio, and you, Crunch, that will hold on to your nuts and bolts. So we've
Yes.
dropped our percentages. So it's the people like me and Country that bring nuts and bolts and sell them. Now we're at 2
Oh,
out
I
of
still
5,
sell mine.
and Country hasn't played
I
for a
do.
week essentially. So we're already 1/5 down on our production. So the price is going up because they're getting so much more rare. And second,
The
I think,
availability, right?
yep, I think the fuel is impossible to find. I've seen one lonely fuel can in a week's worth of raids.
And I got it.
Oh, I saw 2 then. I saw 2. I forgot about that one. I didn't have the backpack on that raid. I just walked by and ignored it.
You're like, hey, a fuel can. Yoink.
Yep.
My
But-
generator had just run out of fuel before that raid too.
Oh,
It's probably
planets
out
have
of fuel right
aligned.
now.
So I guess that brings us to our next part. Like, what's your guys' go-to budget kit? Say some armor, helmet, gun, and a backpack.
that's
Because
Right.
it's coming, and we're going to have to be dealing with those kind of kits nonstop.
Do you know how long I've been running with stuff that I have collected off of being able to kill people?
No.
Far too long to be able to answer that question with any kind of confidence.
Okay, so Country, what's your budget kit? Me and you run the same way.
Pretty much, I run the armored rigs, the peen helm, and then gun. Depends on how budget we're going. If it's a decent threat with a budget, it'll probably be the ADAR or the Pudge Star, as affectionately named. Or just whatever I pick up and can get through with. If I have to do stash runs with a AK from a scav, I'll do it. But so I guess it
Actually,
kind of depends on how budget we're going.
we'll let everybody else answer. I've come up with mine now too, but make your rounds.
So for me, it really depends on what's available to me. My ideal budget kit would be a Karasa with a Black Rock and a Hunter, with whatever I have for a helmet. Um, if I don't have access to those, then I grab whatever cheapest armored rig I can find, and whatever I can get for a high caliber rifle. Whether it's single, it has to be a minimum semi-auto. I will not run a bolt action because I cannot stand bolt action. Too slow for me.
I will rock the hell out of a Mosin.
I know you.
All right, what
and you'd
about you,
probably
Bio?
Take my ass with it.
What about you, Bio?
It's actually kind of similar to actually both country and metal with country mentioning the Mosins because I'll run either Mosin with a scope or Hunter with a scope, and then try and go for budget ammo. Though there's not really such a thing right now. M62 was a viable option for a while, but you got to be rich now. But anyway, but then either an armored rig or Karasa. I like the 6B47 helmets.
Yo,
I also like
Radnick.
Uloks,
That's the one
but
that I've been
Uloks aren't great for pricing. They're decent helmets, just not great for pricing. Or if I'm questing, I'll just pick small rig, whatever rig I have just sitting in my stash right now, and armored rig or armored rig.
Yeah, okay.
Just
I
stuff.
I have the ultimate budget kit. 45K is all it takes. Into hard drive. 45K in a hard drive. Easy early wipe.
Right, right. Lay
You
it on us.
run a Paka with a peen helmet. SKS iron sights. You take the rear sight off. You run just PS ammo in it. You don't need anything else. Because you're not in it to kill a PMC right off the bat. You're in it to murk a scav and get his gun. You work from there. But At 45k, you can pretty much do whatever. You can run any rig. I mean, I was running the what was I running with? I think I was just running scav vests because I had a bunch. But I ran that enough that I had enough Burkett and scav packs to sell all the scav packs and still have 20 packs before I got rid of any MBSSs.
Nice.
So, very effective if you're not going for big fights. Not so effective with an iron-sighted 10-round or SKS if you want to fight players.
So why are you taking the backside off?
Because it gives you a bigger front sight on the ring, because it's got that big ring. The back sight covers up about half of it, but if you take that off, you still retain the accuracy of standard, and you get way more sight through it.
So you're only looking at the front
Interesting.
Good enough.
post and not using the rear spade for
Yeah, but there
kick
is
off.
still there's still two pieces on the side that still give you a pretty good lineup. But they just don't stick up far enough. But oh my.
Oh right, because of where it would mount in.
Yeah, but it works
Because
amazingly.
it's got a pivot for your length, right?
Yep.
I've got one, so.
But oh my, is it useful? Because 50k PMC runs MBSS, you kill a scav, you get their pack, or pack stack, a whole bunch of MBSs and duffels. Country, duffels are coming back in style soon.
Yeah, they are.
Duffels are sexy. Duffels are sexy.
That they are. I've missed seeing them in our raids. A duffel and a peen helmet everywhere we go.
That's how we can tell country every raid. Even just like 2-3 weeks ago, he's still running duffel bags and a penis helmet.
Right. I mean, the
I never got
peens.
out of the rat mindset.
I think the peen is going to be part of my budget kit for Ragman level 1 at under 20k for a high ricochet chance. You know, I was just looking at that, and then, I mean, if you can collect up 3 soaps and some toilet papers, you can grab the 6B5, a nice armored rig, and go to town with that. And you know, whether it's a hunter or an SKS, or you're looking for those high caliber semi-autos, in my mind, and you say go to town, start farming up some scavs, come out, trade it up to or sell it off to traders, and start buying things that you want. Lots of times for me, I like taking the little baby AKs. I know I've talked about that before. And lots of times now too, I'm pulling out Vepers that I see have bastions on them or dogleg dust covers, and building my own little baby AKs out of what I can pull off of scavs because I like that platform. And I think that's gonna be my platform for the first little while come wipe because it's so easily accessible and I can just handle it. So peen helm and a nice armored rig if I can. And if I can't, then I guess I'll figure it out when I get there. But I haven't put that much thought into it, and it's definitely going to be baby AKs for me, as far as a rifle goes.
Also,
stack up on those scav backpacks when they're still available.
I also kind of want to put in like Vepr, early wipe, either one if you're going 136 or 209. No one's gonna have good armor. You put echo rounds in, you're pinning up to tier 3 with highest flush damage for tier 3 pin. But if they do have a tier 4, you do 0 damage to them. That is the only risk you run with 209. But 136 being 762 semi-auto, they are dirt cheap. Nobody runs Veprs. I feel like I'm the only one that runs a Vepr in this group, and the only one that has.
That's one thing to also keep in mind, and you guys might have thought of it, it just crossed my mind, but when I first got in, it was a lot of budget kits. It was running the same gun, cheap gun, whatever. But now that they're changing up the scavs and what the scavs are dropping, you can go in with your first raid with a pretty cheap gun, come out with a pretty decent one for your next ones. So it's not really related to the topic. That just came into my mind is you're not going to be stuck on budget runs as long. Well, low tier budget guns anyways, because you have a decent chance of getting one from them scavs.
Very true, because I wonder if they are going to reset what scav tiers of like their loot are going to have back to like 2 patches ago when they were dumb?
Maybe. Or maybe not.
Or just run MP133s with
I mean,
buckshot.
there's always that option.
Yeah,
Just
just
run shotguns all the time.
no one buys
I-
shotguns.
I
Shotguns are
can
great.
I can run a decent raid with a decent shotgun.
Yeah, biggest issue with shotguns is they just don't pen like super high tier armor. So early wipe, they're probably fine. Then late wipe, it's like,
Just aim for the head.
suck to suck.
You got 20
Forehead.
little freaking
Uh.
pins coming out of that fucking shell.
Yeah, problem is when they don't pierce that face shield or mandible armor, and you're like, well, guess I die.
All right.
So I got just
I-
unload.
I
Well,
think
shoot, MP153 is similar.
It does shoot pretty quick, but
It's a semi-auto shotgun.
there's a reason I run a Saiga 12 with a drum mag.
all right. I think we're gonna push on to the viewer question parts. We'll start with Rulies because he put it in last week. What are goals for this next wipe? Like for new wipe, what is your guys' like? Let's say first week goals is what we'll put it at.
Ooh.
My goals are just going to be to focus questing and hideout, and that's pretty much going to be my long term goal as well. But I definitely want to hit the ground running on quests. You get some decent guns, good experience, good decent money. Especially with the mechanic, you can get them M4A1s that I sat on forever until recently and found out they're a hell of a gun. So
Yeah.
Well,
For me, I want to push to unlock the high caliber ammo through the vendors. Is right away 7.62 is not available. You cannot buy M80 from any of the vendors at level 1.
correct.
Right.
Or
So
wait,
for
Hunter's
me,
rough.
Hunter being my main guns, I need to unlock that. I need to unlock the ammo ASAP.
All right. My first week goal is unlock flea market. That's gonna be hit level 10 in first week, which means a lot of running high scav kill runs and running a lot of quests. Once I actually hit the quests, so we're gonna be running dorms a lot, boys.
have fun in
It'll be fun.
customs.
Customs, our favorite map.
Let's go to Shoreline.
Honestly, early on, I don't think it'll be awful because everyone's gonna be roughly at the same level. There won't be
All
super
gonna be
high
doing
level
the same
chads.
thing.
We'll all be wearing the same stuff. We'll all be wearing the same armor. All wearing the same guns, so we'll have a chance, right? Because we're actually, we might say we're bad, but we're actually pretty solid at the game. Like when we work, and we can kill people. It's good. So I think we could take some customs raids, I think, and manage to do our quests in time. So
What's the question?
we're moving on to our goals
Yeah.
for wipe.
Ruli's question
I'm
from
still
last week.
answering mine. Long-term goal is hold on to gun parts and remember which parts go to which guns, so I can actually build quickly instead of just buying shit all the time.
That's
and
where you
wasting
have
money
What
that
bag
way.
you put them in?
that's where you have the walking gun book over here.
Right, and I just sell it because right now I'm just selling everything. But then you told me about that Burris site, and I'm just starting to hold on to those. Now I gotta like find dust covers and other. I just gotta figure out how it all fits together for the stuff I want to build.
I'll go while Crunch noms on a burrito. I think my goal for wipe is what I want to try and do. I want to get the scav junk box as fast as possible. I don't care about anything else but a scav box. So what? I gotta get therapist, I think, to tier 2.
Something like that, yeah.
So that's 2 quests for her, which I can do both of those outside of customs.
Yeah, she levels pretty quick.
Yeah, and I sell everything to therapist anyway. So once scav junk box shows up, I mean, the Pudge factory can start running of ratty runs.
There you go. Yeah, you can shove all your stuff in there instead of your poor tier 1 stash.
Hey now, don't make fun of
Well,
the
they're-
standard stash.
They are actually increasing the size of it,
Oh,
of all the stashes. They're putting an extra 2 rows at the bottom.
that's all I need. That's all I needed.
Yep.
2 rows.
I'm just gonna throw this out here now. All those guys out there in chat, we need some donations to get Pudge EOD. because he will not buy it himself.
At least that.
Oh yeah,
At,
I
at
I
least.
second that motion.
And yes, like anybody else who's listening, if you can hear my ginger bearded voice,
I
or
can hear you,
second ginger bearded voice,
Yeah.
the
I
Canadian
second
one.
or third the motion of helping Pudge upgrade his poor toaster and getting his hamsters
Statue.
some pre-workout or protein or something. We gotta beef the little bastards up, anyways.
Just
The
get him
pro.
some ecstasy, some meth, something.
This is gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
Hello, demonetization on YouTube. Well,
Promoting drug use.
Eh, who wants their money anyway?
What's YouTube?
what about you, Crunch? What's your start of wipe goal? First week goal.
First week, I want to level up as much as I can to try and get into the flea market as quick as possible. We'll see how that goes. I definitely want to cruise through customs, as I heard as I came back. I want to bang out as much of customs as I possibly can. Um, Again, kind of coattailing off BioWolf there is, hang on to stuff that I know I'm going to be using later on, whether it's bleaches and chlorines or gun parts to build rifles that I know I'm going to enjoy later on, or whatever it is. But with as much knowledge as I feel like I've learned and gained from First Wipe, there's definitely some of those things, like I say, customs and gun parts and task items I want to try and bang out. But customs quest is big for me. And then, like you say, the scav junk box. I like the idea of that. Start filling that thing up and bang out some bang out some money.
Uh,
Also, if you want a true long-term goal, Kappa container.
Kappa
Kappa.
container can lick me.
Yeah, I figured that'd be
Like,
your answer.
all right.
yeah, I'm just at that point.
Second viewer question. We have one from Bill. It's a very important one. What is the preferred sauce to dip chicken nuggets in?
Ranch.
Barbecue.
Barbecue.
Ranch?
Ranch.
Ranch.
He's
Ranch.
from the
Jeez.
north. He's northeastern. Ranch is everything up there.
It's everything in
We put
Montana
ranch on
too.
everything up here.
God, hate
Yeah,
ranch.
sweet and sour or plum?
Plum.
Plum?
Plum.
Plum
What?
sauce. Yeah.
Never ever heard or seen that.
I mean, you would
Yeah.
think it's purple, right? But it's not. It's
Like
delicious.
orange?
I don't know. It kind of
Delicious is a
is. Like,
color.
have you ever had sweet and sour? It's very similar to sweet and sour, but a little bit different.
Ugh.
But it hits
Is
the
this
spot just
some
perfect.
like Canadian thing that we don't know about?
Yeah,
I think
it's
I
it
mean,
is.
definitely.
it could be very well could be a Canuckian
Never heard
thing.
of
I don't
plum.
know.
Never heard of that at all.
Definitely
I
not a
don't know.
U.S. thing then, because we
Nope.
kind of cover a decent section of it.
We are
I
kind
mean,
of
maybe that is.
everywhere.
But
Maybe that is.
but
Or
we have made this an international podcast.
This is true.
or I can always get behind some Buffalo Ranch. Hit me
Okay,
with some
I
Buffalo
can do
Ranch.
Yep.
That's
Or
fair.
Buffalo Ranch.
buffalo chicken with ranch. Plum is pretty much the same as sweet and sour, I am getting told from my best looking mod.
Okay, we
I
we
beg
have
to differ. It has a very, there's a slight difference in it. But one will substitute for the other when dipping chicken nuggies.
we have time for one more quick question, and Ruli popped one into chat saying, "What do you guys plan to do for like challenge wise for viewers for all of your channels and yada yada?" Some of you play it online, some of you just play with us for the TwisterCast because everyone here is a streamer. We all have a good time. Only some of us stream the Tarkovs. But any challenge runs coming up?
Uh, Bring forth your challenges, and I will decide as they are brought to me.
Bring
Yeah.
forth your challenges, and I'll just run it because I don't care.
Yeah, slap them if you have challenges. Slap them in the old our hangout, which is going to be renamed here shortly because that's what it's becoming, and it feels wrong
is.
to claim it as my own.
Also, I have kind of been doing a challenge run where I'm trying to get rid of all my Mosins and Hunters before end of wipe by throwing them at people's faces. And if they pick them up and keep them, they do. If not, I get them back and I do it all over again. And it's actually was kind
Hence,
of fun. So
hence the labs Mosen man that we touched on a little earlier there.
a little bit of that.
Oh,
I get it. It's
man.
not coming back. Thank God.
One
Um,
down, 20 to go.
Also, that led to one of my second favorite raid of the week with the hunter, where I killed 5 PMCs with a hunter on woods in the same area because they all rushed me, and like the sixth or seventh one killed me eventually. That was a fun run.
So I think with where we're at, because we just hit the hour mark. Where can we find you? Where can we find all of you beautiful, beautiful folks?
You can find me on Tinder at no. I'm just kidding. No, you can find me at twitch.tv/npobiowolf. I've got all my social media links down there. I've got my Discord, the Wolf Pack. If you want an invite, let me know. I'll send you an invite.
Oh yeah, he will.
Oh yeah. Um, those are my handles. I don't go much elsewhere yet. Working on it.
You can find me at BG Country 91 on Twitch. As same as bio, all my links are in my panels, but I'm pretty much across most social medias with the same name.
You'll find me actually on mixer.com, SirMetal666. I know, I'm the different one. But
The black sheep.
I do have Twitch as well. You won't see me there much, if at all, anymore. You will find me on Twitter, Instagram, Xbox Live, everything under SirMetal666. My Discord, Sir Metal's Noob Garden. We do have it's just up and coming, just like a lot of ours. But I'm there. I talk in there every day. I talk in all these guys' Discords pretty much every day because I live in there when I'm at work and bored.
True.
Does that bring that around to me?
Yep, that's you.
I think it does.
All right, so you can find me here on Twitch at the Crunch 18. I'm doing my thing, trying to push it at least 4, if not 5 days a week. Count sometimes on the weekends, always in the afternoon. Twitter at I am the Crunch. On YouTube at Crunchy Dan. That's CRUNCHIEDAN. These guys are talking about their Discords. You can find me somewhere privately about that, as I did have to deal with a text to speech troll not so long ago, so we've got that feller locked down. But those are the 3 places you're going to be able to find me if you want to find me when it comes to anything streaming related on my part.
And you can find me under Sagent Pudge everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tinder,
That's
Reddit.
Special Agent Pudge.
Sagents,
By the way.
but it might
Yes,
change.
it
And I think that's gonna wrap it up for the old podcast for the week. I say we wrap
Beautiful,
this up
beautiful.
and go play some of the games. You know, I mean, we talked about it. Let's go do it.
Let's
Thank
grab
you.
Eagles and get it done.
Thank you all for watching.
Bye.
You guys can catch us all on Podbean, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. YouTube's usually late a week because yeah, I'm slow.